Hello everybody, this is Sparring Web What Ifs, and this is part 2 of What If Deku was in a zombie apocalypse and in an all-girls school. Okay, so I'll be continuing doing the what I did in the last part with doing the first person, and then saying when I will be doing the narrating parts. So I'll be narrating all the fight scenes and some other stuff. So let's begin. Okay, something that I should also mention. So these are some of the Also, I recently watched a zombie anime, and I realized that zombies have complete control over. So since there's our brain puts mental limits on ourself. He doesn't have those limits. Those limits were broken since he became a zombie. He just doesn't realize this yet. But these are going to be some elements that he can use, that he can bend to his will. He got these from the dragons, Kai and Ko. And that, I'd say, would be about it for what I need to recap you on. So, let's begin. We continue the story off with Izuku coming in. Actually, no. Let's just get into it from first person view. So, the way that I remember this day starting off was, well, since everybody in the school doesn't really trust me in any of the dorm rooms, so they locked me up on the roof of the school. So that's quite boring. And nobody came to unlock the door, so I had to find a different way to class. And since class starts at around 8, and it was around 7:59, I need to find a way into my class. Miss Izawa showed me the class and like what floor it was on, so I knew a rough estimate, like where to go. So I jumped off the roof and waited until I saw my class, until I levitated myself and opened the door, or opened the window. And then, well, this is what Jiri told me what happened. So, Miss Aizawa was introducing her Jiro and Momo, her and Momo, and then I came crashing in through the window. Okay, so we continue this from Deku's view. So that's what Jiro told me happened, and I can fill you in from there. I came in through the window, rolling, and then saying, hey, Jiro, you said you were going to come get me from the roof. She replied with, sorry, I had to finish some, I had to do some things. Like what? I don't know. Okay, well, I might as well introduce myself. Hello, I am Izuku Midoriya. And I am the zombie that has control over his mind. I was also one of the 2 males I was born before this. So, any questions? And I hate this class now. So this is my view now. Izuku, right as he finished her sentence, saw 2 people. 2 people that he would rather not see. Katsuki Bakugo and Ochako Uraka. Now we go back to Izuku's view. Fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with a cheating bitch. Or a guy that pisses me off also. Miss Ozawa, can I please be transferred to another class? As she's just... No. As Izuku replies with, what? Why not? As she then says, because we need you in this class. Why? Well, because you are incredibly strong, and most of these people here are weak. Well, not weak in the same terms as you would put them as, but weak as in what I would put them as. So you're saying they need me so they can survive. Fine. Just don't put me near either one of those two, being him pointing at Ochako and Bakugo, with her asking why. Well, the reason that I'm like this at being a zombie is because of that cheating bitch. And the reason that I have anger issues is because of that bastard over there, pointing at Katsuki. As Bakugo replies back with, "Shut the fuck up, you damn nerd." As Izuku replies back with, "What nerd? All I see around here is a guy who can very easily kick your ass." With Bakugo replying with, "I highly doubt that. You had a weak quirk before this. That was then. This is now." As Katsuki then says, "Fine, let's have a battle. Whoever wins gets to order the other person around." As Izuku replies with, "No. Whoever loses has to not piss the other person off, and if they do, the other person gets to willingly kick their ass in front of everybody." As Bakugo says, "Deal." I ask Miss Aizawa, could we please have a training area? And can we let everybody here watch so then they can see how incredibly weak he is and how incredibly strong I am?" As she replies with, so then we can get all this over and done with, "Sure." As then we skip a couple minutes later where they're at an arena with the match about to start with. Now we go to my view. Izuku cracks his knuckles, and then he summons his scythe, but in what summoning his scythe out of nowhere, tapping the tip on the ground. With Katsuki, right as he's tapping the tip of the scythe on the ground, he's wondering how the hell did he do that. As he then, the scythe then changes into this. As Izuku, as he hits the tip on the ground, he says, "Engulf in darkness." As he twirls the scythe around his fingers, ending up with this. As he puts the scythe on his shoulder, as then out of nowhere a sword comes as then a sword comes out of nowhere. This being this. As then he taps that on the ground, it turning into this. As you said, that ignite in flames. As then, Katsuki asks, "How the hell did you do that? You had no power before this." As he then says, "Well, that was then. This is now." But before we start, Cole, please jump out so you don't interfere or get hurt. What? Why do you think we get hurt? Yeah, Izuku, why do you think we get hurt? Well, because you're attached to me, and you know how, well, destructive I can be, right? True, Izuku. Yep. As they jump off, sitting off the stadium. As everybody in the class except Jiro and Momo are wondering, Who are those, and what the hell are they doing? Being scared as well as shocked, as being very fearful of Izuku. As Izuku says, well, let's begin. But before we do, but before he, right as Katsuki's charging at him, Izuku just puts on his music and starts tapping his foot to the beat as he dodges Katsuki's first attack. Then he on the tips of both of his blades, well he doesn't he bangs his sword and his scythe together, saying, "Go." Well, saying in 10, no, saying non-damage. As this makes it so then, he what like it will hurt him, but it won't leave any marks. Same thing as the scythe from my What If Deku had the Red and White Dragon Emperor, which that will be getting a related series to. Okay, so he dodges it, and then he slashes behind him, hitting Katsuki. It making him feel like he got slashed through the chest, but then Izuku said, I only need one weapon for this, as he makes his sword disappear, only going with his scythe, as he twirls that around his fingers, making it end up on his shoulder, as then he summons an explosion in his hand. As Katsuki says, how the hell do you have an explosion quirk like me? Well, that would be because of my original quirk. You know how my quirk allowed me to copy any quirk any quirk from any like an affection that would have happened, and since humans evolved from going through the common code, I couldn't copy any skills powers from them. But this zombie apocalypse, it's a virus, so any person that I came across with that could use a quirk, I copied it. So happens I found two people that had an explosion quirk. I found a person that had a lot of things. I found a person that had a whole bunch of elemental based quirks. I found one that even had the ability to make void portals. So I'd say I'm pretty well equipped for this apocalypse. Another good thing about being a zombie, they won't attack me. I attack them, they don't expect it, but then they start attacking me. Once they see me killing another zombie, they die within a matter of a few seconds. As then he sends an explosion at Katsuki, propelling it forward with a slash from his scythe. As then he makes his scythe go away. As then he says, brain power. Well, no, he pretty much activates the thing in his brain that makes him be able to use more percentage. So he says 150% strength, as he then punches Katsuki in the shoulder, dislocating it. As Katsuki limping, like holding his shoulder, saying, "How the hell did you do that?" With Izuku giving the explanation, saying, "Well, since I'm a zombie, I can control what percentage of my brain, since I don't have that limit that you guys do. I can use any number of percentage of my strength, and then just heal. Because I know what to do." As he then chops his arm off. As then everybody's scared. As then these weird bloody tendrils, like blood tendrils, come out of the arm, going to the other part, the part of the arm that he chopped off, reconnecting it. As then he says, "You wanna stop this, Katsuki, or do I have to knock some more sense into you?" With Katsuki coming back with, "You knock sense into me? Yeah, no." As Izuku says, "Well, you asked for this," as he then slaps his hand to the ground, making a whole like that thing that Todoroki did to Sero. Like pretty much do that, but smaller. As then he walks up to Sakatsuki, then cracking his knuckles again, then punching Katsuki in the stomach, sending him flying into a wall. This knocking him out. Now we're gonna go back to Izuku. Aw, I thought you'd be a little bit stronger since the last time we saw each other. Oh, meh. As I then saw Uraka rushing up to him. So you really are a cheating bitch. So you cheated on me, making me become this. For him? Really? As I then just got Kai and Cole and got them to hop back into my backpack. As then I just walked over to Mr. Exile saying, I think we're gonna need recovery gel for that. Yeah. As when recovery girl comes back, she says she's limping since in this, the air's a little bit toxic and her being an old lady affecting her more. With Izuku then offering, would you like me to rewrite in your age so then you don't get so affected by this? And so you can live a little bit longer? With her saying, you can do that? Well, relatively yes. I can rewind objects, but why can't I rewind people? As he rewinds her to, say, around when she was around 25 years old, her looking a lot younger. And her thanking Izuku, and then healing Katsuki. Not needing the cane anymore, but keeping it as like an extra weapon. So, I guess I beat you, Katsuki. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing, you damn nerd. What? Izuku. As then I asked Miss Aizawa to continue with the class, as we went back to the classroom. As then the day continued, and it ended off with Miss All Might teaching us some stuff. And then I went back to the roof because I had to. As I listened to my music, letting Kai and Cole hear it, giving them one of the earbuds. I have 4, so I connected to. Well, I have 2 headphone jacks on my MP3 player, so I just so I connected it to headphones. So I just let them listen to the music. As then we skip to the next day. As I woke up inside of a cannon, saying, wondering where the hell I was. As then I heard Katsuki's voice saying, "Bon voyage, you damn nerd." As the cannon then fired, sending me outside of UA. Me seeing that Katsuki and Uraka and some other kids put me in a cannon. And so, I don't know why. And now I'm flying through the sky. I'd say around like an hour later, I crashed on whatever kind of cannon it was. It sent me really far because it took me like an hour to see land. They shot me over an ocean until I came across this island. Had this weird freaky ass castle on it with a couple villages around it. And then I looked at a map that I had and saw that I was on the deserted island of Tartarus. Since all the power went out, all the prisoners were able to get out. And in those surrounding villages, there were people that looked like a building them, but all the people there turned into zombies. So when I crash landed there, I acted like a regular zombie and went to the castle. I jumped over the gate. As I came across, once I was stumbling around in the castle, I fell into this deep hole. As I blacked out then. I think Kai and Cole did too, because they didn't wake me up. Until I woke up with me being tied up and Kai and Cole being muzzled and strapped in. Well, I don't know. But they were muzzled since I couldn't hear them talking, and they are quite a chatty bunch. As then this weird woman came out of nowhere saying, "Hi, so who are you and why the hell do you look like a zombie?" Well, I introduced myself as Izuku Midoriya, and I am a zombie that has control over his brain. And I have also got a lot of powers, I guess. As she then introduced herself as one, all for one. As, wait. Yeah, all for one. But this being a female version of all for one. Saying, well, I don't know how you got here. Oh, I can answer that. Some friends of mine, people put me in a cannon and shot me off over here, I guess. This is the easiest way to put it. And why would they do that? Well, because they thought I was threatening. What else would there be? She then says, well, since you're another guy and you're a zombie, they thought you'd try, maybe, just to rape them? And I replied with, why the hell would I do that? I have no reason to. As she's just saying, just maybe a suggestion. Or they felt threatened by you. As I thought upon it, as saying, most likely that one. As then I asked her if she could let me go. And she says, sorry, can't do that. As then out of nowhere, Shigaraki, Toga, Twice, Darby, Mr. Compress, and a whole bunch of other all the League of Villain members come out of nowhere saying, we're gonna have to let you die. As then this pit forms from underneath me as I fell through. As then I summoned my scythe and said to Kai and Cole, letting them go, like breaking out of my restraints, getting their muzzles off, as him saying, it's time to merge, so we can get the hell out of here. Okay, Izuku, alright. As they merge into one unanimous being, turning into this. This being their fused form. This making him able to fly, giving him enhanced reflexes on the ones that he already had, and fire breath and fire kinesis, as well as water, earth, and lightning kinesis. In this form, he doesn't have access to most of his abilities. As then he flies up, breaking through the ground that they replaced over the ditch. As he then lands in like a superhero-esque pose, retracting the suit, turning back into regular Izuku, or regular zombie Izuku. As he said, why the hell did you do that? Well, you don't need anybody telling the heroes that we're here. And why would the heroes be looking for you? Well, because we're villains? Oh, that makes more sense. And I thought you were just some people that were hiding here. Well, that makes more sense now. Well, since you're villains, and I wanted to be a hero, and I was living at UA. Well, I know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna leave. And you can follow me, I really don't care. As then Toga, as then that girl Toga, pops up saying, "Wait, you're the guy that destroyed that killed all those zombies that once had, like, to show themselves to UA, to show you that you're not a threat." As he says, "Yes, and how the hell did you know that?" "Well, because I was there. I was just disguised as one of the people there." "And that person would be..." "Well, I can't tell you that." As he says, "Well, doesn't matter to me." As then he cracks all the bones in his body, as he goes back into this form, saying,
"Well, I'll say bye. Hopefully we'll meet in the future. Goodbye."
As he rockets through the roof, as he flies back to UA. As a couple hours go by, as he lands in the front porch of UA, saying, knocking on the door, saying, "Can I come back in?" As in the radio comm saying, "Izuku, why the hell are you out there?" "Well, I can answer that. Some of your students, they put me in a cannon, and they sent me to Tartarus." As President Mike says, "Well, come back in, quickly, quickly." As then we skip a couple minutes later, as Izuku is running through the walls, jumping off wall to wall, looking for Katsuki. As he then comes across Katsuki and Oraka on the roof, remarking over their victory. This being making out. As he says, "Well, if it isn't the two bastards and bitch that sent me to Tartarus." As they're shocked, saying, "How the hell did you get back?" "Well, that would be because of..."
"This flight suit."
As he goes back to regular Izuku form. As Izuku says, "Well, I really want to push you off this roof right now. But since I don't want to be seen as a threat, I'm gonna leave you two here." As I also said, "Get the hell out of my room. Unless I'm gonna get my own room sometime soon. You better get out of here before I make you." And I very easily can. As this dark abyss I form this dark abyss in my hand, saying, "This is pure nightmare fuel. Pure nightmare fuel. If I put this inside of you, you'll be having nightmares for at least a month. And they will feel so real that you'll most likely piss yourself in real life. Or shit yourself, really. Doesn't matter. Whatever happens in this dream usually happens in real life. So, you die in real life. You get cut, this cut appears in real life. Unless you can manage to overpower this nightmare. So, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds, and you better be out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, you made the right choice. As then, Miss Aizawa came out of nowhere saying, "Well, do you want to get to your room, or whatnot?" As I replied with, "Yes, it better be good." "Believe me, it is." As I followed her to this separate, this separate building. saying, "This my room?" Well, yes, the roof was temporary. We built this underground bunker explicitly for you. And it's also kind of a jail cell in case we need to hold zombies here, like for experiments. Or if we need to hold you. Well, that makes sense. And it's understandable. Yeah. But one thing, I'm only letting a few people in. Teachers, Momo, and Jiro. I better get a camera system installed at the front so I can let people in. And it better have a face recognition system because it better let me in, no matter how twisted my face looks. Let's make it like a hand recognition thing. Yes. Now we go back to me, as that's the end of this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. So like, comment, and subscribe, and comment. What do you think I should add in the next part? Like any quirks or like powers that you think you should have. And that's it. Goodbye and good luck.